Imagine a city that doesn't rest on solid ground, but on millions of wooden piles sunk into the lagoon centuries ago. You think they'd rot, but no. Underwater, without oxygen, they turned as hard as stone. That's Venice, a place that defines logic. In this video, I'll take you through some of the most fascinating facts about Venice. Stay until the end and I'll provide you with practical advice on where to stay and how to navigate the city. Walk into St. Mark's Square and look up at the bell tower. Hard to believe it collapsed in 1902, crushing everything beneath it. Except, oddly enough, only a cat was killed. Within a decade, Venetians rebuilt it exactly as it was. Venice was also a city of genius. On nearby Murano Island, glassmakers became both prisoners and celebrities. To protect the secret of their craft, they were forbidden to leave Venice, sometimes under penalty of death. Today, visiting Murano is a must. You can still see glass blowers at work and explore shops full of their remarkable creations. When you walk along the canals of Venice, you'll see masks for sales everywhere, colorful, glittering, and mysterious. But behind them lies a fascinating history. Venetians loved gambling, and from the 12th century, private clubs called casinos and ridotte began to open. At night, nobles gathered there to play games, talk, and enjoy secret romances. Masks gave them the anonymity they needed. And here we are. Let me share some practical tips on how to navigate Venice and make the most of your time. We spent 2 days in Venice and it felt just right. We visited in early July and to my surprise, it wasn't as scorching hot as other parts of Italy at this time of the year. Be prepared for rain, though sometimes you'll get brief thunderstorms or heavy showers, often in the late afternoon or evening. At that time, we were traveling around Europe by campervan, so we stayed at a campsite close to Venice and used a public bus to get into the city. You can, of course, stay in Venice itself, but keep in mind it's busy and expensive. That's why many visitors stay outside and travel in by train or bus. You can buy a bus ticket in Venice in a few ways. The simplest is online through the Venezia Unica website, where you can also get water bus tickets, which I'll explain in a minute. Piazza Roma, the main bus station, there are ticket offices and machines. And Venezia Unica desks can also be found at other big transit points. For last-minute needs, you can use Chat and Go WhatsApp system on bus stops. ATVO buses, which connect Venice with airports and nearby towns, tickets can also be purchased from the driver for a small additional fee. Although this isn't possible on trams or the People Mover. The People Mover is a small train that links Trattoria, the big parking area, the cruise terminal, and Piazza Roma. It takes only a few minutes and costs $1.50. If you come by car, remember that cars aren't allowed inside Venice. You'll need to park at Trattoria or Piazza Roma, which costs $25 to $35 a day. Also, remember to validate your tickets before you travel, even if you bought it on board. Most places accept cards, but it's a good idea to carry some cash for small purchases. Inside Venice, the Vaporetta is the main public transport. A single ticket costs $9.50 and is valid for 75 minutes. If you plan to use them a lot, passes a better deal. $25 for 1 day, $35 for 2 days, or $45 for 3 days. Tickets are sold at ACTV offices where a staff member will assist you. You can also purchase them at the machines or online. Guys, don't be surprised if your first day feels overwhelming. It's crowded, busy, and at times feels like a huge outdoor shopping street. From our experience, it's best to catch the Vaporetta a little further from the main station, Piazza Roma, since the lines there can be overwhelming. We actually spent an hour waiting because we thought that was the only starting point. But here is the thing. Just cross the bridge, take a stroll, don't be afraid to get lost in the alleys. Stop for some gelato and then hop on at a quieter stop. That way you can actually enjoy the ride. Getting lost is an experience in itself. By the second day, it already feels easier, and instead of worrying about directions, you start to love the freedom of wandering wherever the alley take you. We traveled with our small dog and had no problems. The only thing is that Venice is crowded, so you have to be careful that people don't step on your furry friend. For families with children, strollers can be hard to use because of the bridges, the crowds, and uneven streets. But none of this would ever stop me from visiting such a beautiful place on earth. What we ate in Venice. We were told that in Venice many restaurants close in the afternoon. When you are hungry, just filter Google for open now and best rated. You'll be surprised at what gems you find. That's how we discovered this little place and we loved it so much we kept coming back. The pasta was unforgettable. Honestly, I think it was the best in all of Italy. I am Tanya. If you are new to the channel, we are a travel-loving family who's explored every country in Europe and spent time living in places like Thailand, Spain, and Ireland. We love sharing real-life tips to help you travel, maybe inspire you to move abroad or try a different way of living. So if you're curious about life beyond the usual routine, you are in the right place. In my next video, I'll be sharing our route through the Czech Republic and the places we visited. If you got some value from this video, please hit that subscribe button. It really helps the channel. See you soon, my friends. Bye!